got this expensive camera. You got this nice microphone. You're trying to tell me you're not doing it.
In this video, we are just going to discuss something about integration and stereotypes, how people actually stereotype one another. And so I just want to ask their idea of what they think about stereotypes and if they've been engaged in stereotypes themselves. So they mention their names, then we know who we are speaking with. On my left, we have
Kwamena
okay
from Ghana.
Okay, and
Ian from South Africa.
Nice meeting you, Ian and Kwamena. It's really been a pleasure meeting you already, and thanks for also sitting with me. So today we are just trying to find out about stereotypes. I don't know if you have any idea about what stereotypes are. So I would like to ask both of you if you've had an experience with stereotypes or what do you understand by stereotypes. So who wants to go first?
Ian goes first.
Ian.
Me go first.
Gentleman.
Stereotypes in Switzerland in general, or just my understanding of stereotypes?
Your understanding of stereotypes.
Stereotypes is when, I guess, you perceive someone just by looking at them, or by whatever, if religion they belong to, skin color, origin, and you perceive those person just because of where they come from, and it's not always correct. Stereotypes, I think everyone is different in their own ways.
Yeah.
I think in Switzerland we also experience stereotypes. Yes, being, mostly all over the world, being a black man, there's certain stereotypes you face, and I guess it's just about being yourself and showing that you're just not these stereotypes that people believe you to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really great answer. I mean, I believe you're also trying to get to understand what stereotypes are. If you don't really understand, this was a really great response from Ian. So I want to find out about what Kwamena also thinks about stereotypes and generalization, actually. Stereotypes and generalization. So, Kwamena, what do you understand by stereotypes?
Ian must have said it all. Very much like judging the book by its cover.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Carl.
Your look, your appearance, your haircut, the way you walk, the way you talk, your color, get me, gives an impression about you. Some people might take it the wrong way. Some people might take it another way, depending on their experiences to they've had with visitors. What do you call it?
Immigrants.
Immigrants. That's right. Immigrants and all that stuff. But in my case, I don't really bother. At times I don't even recognize it or realize it because I've lived in Sydney for a very long time.
Sydney! Sydney again!
And the kind of job I did, I picked more of the locals, even when I was a migrant. And they were nice to me, and the nature of the job was to integrate and have conversations with the public. That's why I did that job. So to me, I don't have much of a problem with stereotyping, but it is something you should expect. Get me? Wherever you go, at times even on your own soil, get me? Your own motherland. Is either you are rich, one is richer, or one is more well-dressed, one is taller. Or there is something that really makes the public think, or it makes one think he or she is better off than you.
You're not better than me, okay?
So
Okay.
that's me. Yeah.
Great. All right. So that's really two great perspectives, and I really love both answers. So we want to go on further to find out. I think for me, stereotypes, they've said exactly what I have in mind, and we all stereotype one another. I stereotype people because someone will say, for instance, Swiss people are like this, and that's a stereotype, or Africans are like this, and this is a big challenge because sometimes people don't get to express who they really are. So if you say, for instance, Swiss people are not nice people, then you put the whole group into kind of a jar, depending on your experience with one or two people. Or on the other hand, the other person also has stereotypes on the immigrant. So they say maybe black people are like this, or Muslims are like that also. And I think that's very difficult. So I really love both of your answers. And I just want to ask, so what kind of stereotypes have you personally engaged in? Yeah, I mean, generally.
I think I'll speak about Switzerland. I think my first initial thought of Swiss people was that they were cold,
You were cold as ice.
not friendly,
Yeah.
and distant.
Mm-hmm.
So I just presume that everyone's like is that way, Swiss people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then after a while, after living for a few years in Switzerland, I've got to meet really cool Swiss people. Were friendly and open, kind, and I think you realize it's just all different types of people. I guess people are just people.
Yeah.
Good people, bad people, and maybe my stereotypes were wrong. Wrong.
Yeah.
Can't just say all Swiss people are like this, or unhappy, or difficult, or distant, or whatever. It's when you get to know people individually and take time to get to know them that you realize that they're not what you perceive them to be. It's when you judge people from a distance and that first interaction, you often those assumptions are wrong. Yeah, like I said, with time, getting to know people, you realize that Swiss people are great, funny, and welcoming. And obviously you get those people, other people that aren't, but you can't put everyone into one bubble.
All right, that's great, Ian. That's really amazing. Okay, so Kwamena, have you had experiences in your past where you stereotyped some people based on some few experiences you've had with some few people? And what kind of experience did you have and made you think that this group of people are like this or that?
Fun experience I had in Sydney. When you first go there, usual conversation in English, and a question comes from them, whoever I was speaking to at the time. How long have you been in the country? 9 months. Your English is good. It's something I had very often. How long have you been here? 2 years. Your English is good. Then you have to go further on to explain to them. English is very much the first language in Ghana, which you know. You get me? But I was just not seeing them to be offensive. You get me? But because if I said I was from the United States, Cincinnati, Ohio, they wouldn't have questioned my English. That was you get me? But again, I just got to know and understood that we were all different. You get me? And then we shouldn't expect every Westerner to have the same way of thinking and understanding. An Australian is different from a New Zealander. A New Zealander is different from an Englishman. An Englishman is different from an American. Get me? And again, what you see on television could also be part of it, and the way some migrants also behave, get me, can also be part of it. So, but again, I'm a loving guy. You get me? Well, I would always say hello to you even when I know you don't want to. Get me? At times we even do it in Ghana when we have expatriates or foreigners working. You get me? We think they're exploiters. So we get me. Stereotyping is something that I think we've all done it before. But it's best not to do it at all. But again, you're not more than human, so you can just make sure you try as much as possible not to do it.
All right.
But Swiss people are very nice people. Very come and understand it.
That's great. Thank you very much, Kwamena. All right, so I think my next question has already been answered because I wanted to ask how people can actually control their stereotyping, because we all do. For instance, my wife and I got to a point where we decided that we were generalizing so much. So, for instance, I'll say, "Oh, Africans are like this," and the truth is, I have no idea how South Africans live. I've never been to South Africa. The only country I've been in is Ghana. So I don't know how other people in Somalia, Nigeria, I have no idea how they live. But then I'll make a conclusion like, oh, Africans do this, Africans like this. But then I don't know how they live their lives there. Even in Ghana, I know only how people really live in Sunyani, and even with that one, it's based on the few people I've had interaction with. Now, usually just the few people we interact with, we think we know the whole group. So I think this is really big. So I made a deal with my wife that anytime someone tries to generalize, we are going to hint one another. I think, as Ian said, we need to experience people for ourselves. Maybe your final words on how people can actually control themselves, or how people can manage stereotyping and generalization.
I think you just gotta look at people as individuals. I think look at them as like a blank canvas, and then as you get to know them, you can generally slowly portray or paint this of and get a better understanding of them. I think, but when you just look at people as a finished product, as that whatever stereotype is, or if you just look at them as like you can already know them, I guess that's when the stereotyping comes in, because you think you already know them. If you approach someone as like, I don't know anything about this person, but I want to get to know them, I think that's when maybe the stereotypes kind of fade away, because you just want to get to know the person for who they are. Doesn't matter where they come from, religion, whatever, but you just you're open just to knowing them, just to get to know them. Yeah, that's what I think. Just approach every person as like know nothing at all about them. They're just like this empty canvas that's in your mind. Over time, you'll get a clearer picture of who they are, better understanding. I don't know. That's
great. So Ian said, anytime you meet someone, try to create a blank canvas. You're a painter. Everyone is a painter in the world. So once you meet someone, you create a blank canvas. Then you start painting the picture as you experience them more, not because you know someone from their group. So that was really something amazing that Ian said. So we go to my big man, Mr. Kwamena. So what do you also think? What advice do you have for people on stereotyping?
Oh, well, try to understand people. Get me? Regardless how many times you've met them, how many times you hope to meet them, how many times you're going to meet them, get me? And do have dealings with the individual.
So do we have a deal?
Have dealings with an individual before you start judging. On the other hand, you could also help the individual in which way he or she is going, which is heading towards stereotyping. Get me? So we all fall back or keep away as much as possible from stereotyping. Get me? But again, you cannot be judging people when you haven't had dealings with them. You get me? And then they are also human beings like you. You get me? So, and you have to also put yourself in their shoes, how you would feel if you are stereotyped from the first sight or the first look from the public, or of anybody. Get me? So you just have to be a loving person and try to understand people and try to have dealings with people. Especially maybe through you, whatever stereotype and behavior they have, through you, they might correct themselves.
You are correct.
Okay.
Wow.
That is about it. But again, it's just about life. And
Mhm.
just be a loving guy. Just be a loving person. In life, just be a loving person.
Jeff, people are loving you.
That's really amazing, and this was really a very good conversation, trying to get different perspectives and how people think about stereotyping and generalizing. And it's been Ian and Kwamena, and it's very interesting conversation. I wish we could continue, but we don't have much time. I think they have to go and do other things also, and I'm really glad that we met here today. Genau. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the description what you think, and also if you have any suggestion on stereotyping or how people can improve on stereotyping, I think it will be very relevant for everyone who watched this video, so you can also put it down. Genau. Subscribe to the channel if you are interested in finding more about integration of immigrants and helping refugees. And I mean, that's all we are about, trying to integrate into our new countries. So I hope you get value from this video. If you did, just let me know. All right, so thanks for watching, and hope to see you again next week. Bye.
Okay.